Alright, I don't even have my microphone with me, but I was just watching a video, well, I was listening to it while I drive, and I was just thinking, like, how often in today's society do we, do parents end up telling their kids that they need to be realistic and that they can't achieve anything and that they can't do anything with their life, that they have to do, what they're good at, or, they can only become good at certain things, and, what kind of limitations are parents setting on their children nowadays? Why are we not telling our children that they can do whatever they want and be whoever they want to be and be what they want to be? Obviously, within the realm of biology and time and space, right? You can't be fucking Superman. Maybe you can make a serum and inject it into yourself that turns you into fucking Captain America. Or maybe you can become fucking Iron Man, become a multi-billion-dollar man who fucking builds suits that he can fly around in. That's possible. But there's things within the realm of time and space and biology that you can't obviously change. That's a very different level of you can be anything. But I mean, in terms of anything you want to achieve in life, literally the sky's the limit. Not even that. Fucking Elon Musk goes to fucking Mars. We send fucking rocket ships into space. Why can't we have spaceships? Why can't your kid be the next fucking Elon Musk who makes a fucking livable spaceship that somebody just lives in? Why isn't that possible? And why are we telling our kids to be realistic? Reality, in the minds of the modern populace, is such a limited thing, and it's a very not narcissistic, negative. There's a very negative connotation behind reality, and it's this idea that things are only the way they are and they'll never ever change. That's not how the world works, and that's not how reality works. When you become a different person, your reality changes. Because reality is in the perception of reality. That is what reality is your perception of it. And there's obviously delusion, right? But if you want to be successful at something and you want to be the best at something, you have to be delusional. You have to be delusional and obsessed. You have to be. Because if you want to reach that pinnacle of whatever it is you're trying to get to, you have to be fucking completely delusional, because the odds are stacked against you. And you can't even believe that the odds are stacked against you. You can't even believe statistics, right? There's people who fucking defy the statistics. That's because they have that unwavering self-belief. So why are we telling children whose minds are extremely impressionable that they can't achieve whatever they want to? And it's not explicitly put that way, right? It's not explicitly put that way. I don't think there's many parents out there that are strictly going up to their kids and being like, oh, you want to be a firefighter, Timmy? Well, you can't do that. No, I don't think anybody's out there saying you can't do this, right? But it's the energy you give your kids, right? And I'm not a father yet, right? This is just something I've observed. It's the energy you give your children. And when they're talking about something they want to be, and you're not fully there supporting them energetically and just being I don't know how to describe it. It's a feeling thing. Feeling yes, they can achieve that. And I tell you why it happens, right? Because parents don't have that self-belief in themselves, and parents instinctually will instill their own beliefs into their kids by instinct. And if you don't have that self-belief, that unwavering self-commitment and self-belief, then you're not going to be able to instill it in your children. And that becomes the cycle. Because if you don't instill it in your children, they have to figure it out for themselves. And if they don't figure it out for themselves, it's going to go on to your grandchildren. And it's going to continue on. We're going to have societies of people who believe they can't do things. And they get stuck. They get trapped working a 9-to-5 job, or being like me and joining the army. things that aren't their higher purpose or their higher calling. And there's a version of them that lives within them, their true heart, their soul, that knows that they can be whatever they want to be and can achieve whatever they want to achieve. But when they're two people that they're supposed to trust more than anything in life, to guide them through their young years, to get all of their persona and get all of their personality traits from, when those two people don't even have self-belief themselves, that energy reflects onto the kids and they carry it with them. You have to have an unwavering self-belief in your capabilities as a person. And you have to believe that you are more than capable of achieving anything you put your mind to and anything you put effort into. And that you are already worthy of it. Because look, I want you to think about it this way, and this is talked about a lot in spirituality as far as manifestation and assumption and the law of assumption. A rich person wakes up and feels rich, right? And we're talking about in terms monetarily, because you can be rich in other ways. They wake up and they feel wealthy because that's their reality. So why don't you reverse the equation? Feel it first and then actualize it. You can't be something that you are not already. You can attempt to get there, but you will not be that thing until you are that person. I don't know if that's making sense. It may sound a little crazy, but you can't. If you want to be a professional NASCAR driver, you have to mentally, and your being has to be that before you can be that in reality. Like if that is what your soul and your heart align with, you have to get all the different parts of yourself aligned in order to be that thing up here first and in here, in your heart. And if you don't have that belief that you are that, or that you can become that, because you have to have that belief you can become that and then internally be, then reality is not going to reflect it. And so everybody, like, you look at anybody that's literally driving on the road, you see the people behind me, or like the people that are passing me on the right. It's like, I start to wonder and I start to think, like, how does their brain work, right? And in reality, we all think the same. We do. We literally all think the same. Some people are deeper in the NPC route, or the mindless, unconscious existence than others, but like you can sense that vibrationally, like you can feel people's energy, but you can't feel it I'll say this, you can't feel the level of energy that you're at until you're on a higher level of energy and vibration, until you think differently. And until it's a spiritual change. It's not like this it's not a change in your thinking. It is, but that's an effect of it. The causation is a spiritual change, a change in feeling, a change in, like, your consciousness level is raising. And you can't feel or understand the level you are on until you reach a higher level. You can understand levels above you, and I think, like, in my perception and in my opinion, you can think of levels below you. You can feel levels below you, like, and it's not I say above and below, but those aren't meant to be taken negatively as like as if above is better than below, or above is better than your current state. It's not meant to be taken as like a way to put yourself down, like because you're vibrating at the level of greed doesn't mean that like you're worthless. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy of vibrating at a higher level. Everybody is, but you have to do the spiritual work to get there. And a lot of that comes with introspection and journaling, meditation. Like those are some practical things that you can do. And in reality, it's being present and aware of your awareness and the attention that you're paying things, and the attention that you're giving thoughts that come through your head. We have something like 79,000 thoughts that come through our heads every single day. And like, how much of them are you giving validity? And when I say validity, I mean like how many of those are you taking and allowing to expand into other thoughts? And what is the quality of those thoughts? Are they good? Are they positive? Are they negative? That's what I mean. And back to the feeling people's energy thing, man, like you can feel the energy of somebody who makes more money than you. You can feel their energy of abundance. You can feel the energy of somebody who's happy all the time, like somebody who's like always smiling or like always in a good mood. Like you can feel this energy. I would notice it when I was I used to work at a mall, and I'd work like 2 or 3 different jobs, and I'd work at a jewelry store, and like the energy of certain people that would come in, I could sense like the vibe they gave off. It's vibrations, man. It's just like, and it is detectable. You can tell, like, especially if you're at a lower level of consciousness. And again, I don't want that to be taken as a negative connotation behind that, because it's not good to stay there. I will say that it's not healthy to stay there, having been in that place before. But when you get out of that, you have to remain grateful for that, because that part of you is still, like, it's still a version of you that allowed the current you to become. So it's just interesting, bro. You can like sense other people's vibe and other people's energy, even through screens, man. Like, I'll watch videos and like I can sense energy of other people, and they're not even physically there. That's the crazy part about it, is because energy has no bounds. Back to my original point. It's kind of like got strung off into other things, but let's not tell our kids to think limited, and let's not impression that upon them. And the only way you can do that is by changing yourself first. Everything reflects back to the self. Your reality is a reflection of your internal world. Your external is a reflection of the internal, as within, so without. If you are chaotic internally, your life will be chaotic externally. If you're busy internally, your life will be busy externally. If you're happy internally, your life you will perceive life as happy externally. And again, it is a perception thing. That's what it describes, as within, so without. Is if your perception inside is negative, then everything outside is going to look negative. And like, it's a process. I mean, it's just a process. I'm not even going to say it's a hard process, because to say it's hard would be to limit yourself, and to believe that it's a hard process for you is a limiting belief in and of itself. So focus on destroying the limiting beliefs you have, because it will affect your children one day. Whether you think it will or not, and whether you try to keep it from them or not, they can feel it energetically. Kids are very susceptible to energy because they're impressionable. And like, they don't have that willpower to keep things out of their lives that are lower vibration or lower energy. And then they end up carrying those lower energy things with them. This is why you see repeat, like at times you'll have people who, and I don't think it's really explainable completely by psychology. That's why I think spirituality is really important. That's a really big tractor, holy shit. You can have a kid whose dad is a drug addict, and then the kid becomes a drug addict, but you can have same situation where the dad is a drug addict and the kid is never a drug addict, never touches a drug in his life. And that's a matter of circumstance and who that kid's around. And if that kid's just around a bunch of drug addicts, he's probably gonna end up being a drug addict, because that's the vibrational energy that's being impressioned on him as a child. So be careful. Like your kids will gather so much from you that you don't even intend. And like people will be like, how did my kid learn that? I don't say that, or I don't like do XYZ. You probably like had the energy of it though. The energy behind it. That's why it's important to like change your vibration, man. You gotta have a spiritual practice that you put into place, something that like helps you guide yourself so you can guide your kids one day. And if you're a man, just guide your family in general. I mean, it says in the Bible that the man is the spiritual head of the household. It's very true. Especially if you have a woman who understands like how to receive spiritually, and if you have a man that knows how to give spiritually. It's a beautiful combination. We need each other. We 100% need each other. That's the crazy thing about it, bro. It's just like, I don't know. Life's crazy. That's all. I just wanted to make a quick video. Hope you enjoyed. If you do, subscribe, all that jazz. Everybody have a good day.